Testing. Testing. All right, guys, welcome back. I am so sorry for what happened last time. I did not realize how much this program drains your battery. We're all plugged in now. Went to the house that my charger was at. Good news though, I found out the way to make it where my screen doesn't have to show the programming recording stuff. So like you guys can just see my screen now easily, which is great. Without further ado, I believe we left off with four teams left. So let's get to it. I'm excited to see what this looks like. Before I do that, let me just send the link to all of you guys for this last recording. Okay, so you guys should have this now. Fuck. All right. All right. Let's do it. So picking number 29. Again, this is kind of like loser bingo. I think it's fun. 29. Is that going to be Saints? Oh, it is, I think. All right. So the Saints will be represented by, believe, Lily D'Amico. So congrats, Lily. You're picking 29th. All right. Down to three teams. It's exciting. Who's going to be last? Three teams. Is that going to be Commies or Browns? Oh, the Browns take it. All right, congrats, Browns. You're not last. You're picking 30th, which is around the opposite where you usually pick in the NFL because you're usually ass. All right, 30th Browns. That will be Austin, our Browns fan here. Okay, who's last? Who's not last, I guess. Titans Commanders. Titans Commanders. Who's it going to be? Picking 31. It's going to be the Titans. All right, yeah, let's remember the Titans. Titans, Will Holm. Congratulations, Will. You're not last. And you get to pick second in the second round, so that's pretty nice. All right, just for shits and gigs, our last person, the Commanders. CJ, by the way, you're the Commanders. I don't know who you are, but congratulations. Okay, obviously. So, yeah, again, I want to apologize for the video being segmented into two. Not only did my computer die, but then my spoiled cat decided that he didn't want to drink his water just because I spilled it on the ground, and then I got the hiccups. It was a whole mess. But we're good now. I just want to go over with you guys. Just want to make sure you can see this. Looks like it. I just want to go over the rules with you guys for how this league will be working as well. So scoring settings, first of all, I don't want anybody to be in the dark about this. So it's pretty standard for any league. 25 yards for a point passing. Passing TD is 4. Uh, Interception is -2. And you get a little bonus if you throw for a long touchdown pass as well. Same with a long rushing score. Uh, Again, this is going to be standard for any league. I did make it where rushing for a first down is an extra point just because if it's 1st and 10 and a running back rushes for 1 yard and they make it 2nd and 9, in my opinion, that should not count the same as a 4th and 1. Need to have every inch, and the running back just gets it by powering through. I feel like picking up a first down is a pretty significant uh, point of the game. So that will be an extra point. This is all negotiable, by the way, for the one person probably that's going to be watching this. If you don't like this scoring system, you can request a change. I guess that's kind of the reward for watching. Half PPR. I don't think that a 1 yard reception for -9 yards should result in positive points for you. It's ridiculous. Um, And then everything else is pretty standard. An extra point for a first down again. Yes. Kicking should be the same. I actually am going to. I'm sorry, I forgot to add this in. Uh, it should be. Yes, it should be -5 for missing. The reason why I'm adding in missing counting as negative is because you might be saying that's not fair because it doesn't mean negative points for the team in real life. But if there are two kickers and kicker one makes one of their one attempts, they get like one attempt at a kick and they make it. That shouldn't be the same number of points as a kicker that gets two field goal attempts and only makes one. Like going 1 for 1 should not count the same as going 1 for 2. There should be some repercussions there. So I'm going to save that. Um, Team defense. I hate doing stuff with yards, so you're not going to see anything with yards. The points here is pretty standard. Um, and we're not doing anything with individual defensive players. So the way this site works, it's the only site that allows 32 teams, which is great because there are 32 NFL teams, and you'd think that the other sites would at least give you the option, considering, it'd be fun. But unfortunately, for whatever reason, they don't let you do more than 8 playoff teams. I don't know why they wouldn't just allow 14, but we're going to do 14 playoff teams. So it'll say that there are 14 weeks in the regular season, and then there are 3 rounds of playoffs, meaning weeks 15 through 17. However, week 14 for us is actually a playoff week. The app may not say that it is, but this is really important that you guys know that week 14 will be a playoff matchup. When week 14 comes around, I'm going to manually go and readjust who's playing who, and it'll be a playoff matchup. And if one of the lower seeds wins, I'll have to adjust the playoff bracket for who makes it. So if the app says that you have like a 0% chance of making the playoffs with a couple weeks left, that's not necessarily true. You might just not be able to be a top 8 seed, but you can easily be a top 14 seed. That's all you have to be. So, and we're not doing any loser bowl. They're going to say that there's a toilet bowl, you could play, and even if you win 0 games this year, if you win a couple games in the loser bracket, you won't be last place. We're not doing that. Whatever your record is to finish the regular season, that represents your spot in the standings once the season ends, if you miss the playoffs. If this league is rebooted next year, that will be how the draft is decided. Um, Everything else should be pretty standard. We're not doing an official quarterback spot just because it's not fair for guys on bye weeks. Like if you have Patrick Mahomes, but you're playing against somebody when the Chiefs are on a bye and their quarterback isn't on a bye, it's really just not fair. And then you could pick up a backup quarterback, but they're probably not going to play. So rather than having a quarterback be required, I added this flex spot here where the quarterback can go. So the quarterbacks are always going to score the most amount of points. So it makes sense to put that quarterback that you have in that flex spot. But on a week that you don't have your quarterback playing, it's not fair that you wouldn't be able to at least get some points and not just lose a roster spot. 2 running backs, 2 wide receivers, a tight end, 2 other flex spots, pretty standard. No kickers and no defenses for the same reason as not wanting a quarterback acquired. It's just not fair if your defense is on a bye week or your kicker is on a bye week. And unlike quarterbacks, kickers and defenses really don't score a whole lot. So I could add those into a flex spot, but no one would do that. Actually, I can't add it into a flex spot. Anyway, 7 bench players. So it'll be 15 rounds, 480 total picks. If you're not auto drafting, please pick quickly because this could take several hours. No, that's me. League settings. Yep. Waivers, everything is pretty standard. Again, it says here the playoffs start week 15. They do not. They start week 14. You can see here the reason why is because I cannot do more than 8 playoff teams. That's not an option for whatever reason. 1 week per playoff round. I'm not doing anything where the Super Bowl's 2 weeks or nothing like that because there's just too many of us. So if we start making the playoff rounds multiple weeks, then the regular season's going to be too short. 3 injured reserve spots too. Ignore this. I mean, you can play in those games, but it won't mean anything. and we reseed for playoffs. This is going to be just like the NFL. That's why I had you guys picking playoff teams. It's going to be exactly like what the NFL does. 7 teams in each conference, making it the schedule. I okay, this is actually an important note. I am prepared to manually input a schedule if the program spits out a random schedule that is just completely unfair. Like if it makes the Giants have to play the Cowboys guy 4 times, or if one person has a significantly easier schedule than somebody else. Um, I doubt I'm gonna have to do that. I cannot edit the schedule till after we draft. Annoying thing with the program, but if I do edit the schedule, it will be completely just dependent on what the actual team is. For example, if I have to edit it, I'll probably do something where it's like you play everybody in your division once, you play everybody in another division in the same conference once, something like that. It's not going to be, I'm not going to look at anybody's team specifically just to make it fair. So that's all good. Member settings. If any of you wants to have a co-owner with you, just let me know. I have no problem with that. And that should be it. Again, if anyone has any questions about the draft process, if you want to trade picks, feel free to do that. That should be available to you. If you need help figuring that out, just let me know. Um, and any questions about the draft spot. One more thing I'll clear up too before we go. Uh, the team that you represent, the NFL team, that means nothing. It's literally just a way for me to sort you guys out, so that way it's not biased the way that I made the divisions and stuff. Um, so it means nothing, but it's kind of fun. Like for me, I'm a Giants fan and I'm assigned to the Giants, so it kind of feels like I'm playing for them a little bit. Most of you aren't assigned to a team that you root for. I apologize. It means nothing. You don't have to draft a player from that team. I've been asked that before. I don't have to draft a single Giants player just because they're my team. I don't have to make my team name about the Giants. I don't have to make my profile pic about the Giants. Granted, that does make it easier for everybody to know who you are, but it doesn't really matter. I want you guys to have fun. I'm not going to be annoying about rules. Just play the game.